Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that your body has enormous built-in capacity to self-heal? Hi, I'm Trish Gleason, and today we have with us Dr. Fab Mancini. Say hello, Dr. Mancini, and then I'll introduce you.
Hi, Trish. It's so great to be a part of this series with you, and I'm super excited about the conversation we're going to have today.
Great, it'll be a lot of good information. Let me introduce Dr. Mancini. He's an internationally acclaimed speaker, author. He's a world best-selling author, actually. He's an educator, philanthropist. He's the former president of Parker University for 13 years. He's also a global consultant. He's also the CEO of a company called Fab Life Mentorship, and he mentors C-suite executives across America. You can find out more information about that on his website. A couple of his books are titled as such, Chicken Soup for the Chiropractic, and that is a world's bestseller. He's also got The Power of Self-Healing, and he's got many more, and he'll hopefully talk to you about those in a little bit. You may have seen him before. He may look familiar because he's also a frequent guest on The Doctors, Dr. Phil, and he's also been invited to join Dr. Oz. He's also, for I think 7 years, been the health and healthy living expert for Fox News. So we are very excited today to have you. So I know that was quite an introduction. So thanks for coming and giving us your time.
Well, thank you so much, Trish. And it's funny because most people don't realize that I was born in Colombia, South America, and I came to this country at 13 years old without speaking the language. And just my parents kept saying, this is a land of opportunity. You can be anything you want to be. And through a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifices, I became a doctor and then a holistic healer. And then, of course, an author, a speaker, and all the things you mentioned. But the reality is that we all have great potential. And I'm just very blessed that my life has taken me places where I can contribute at high levels, especially when it comes to the health of an individual.
Right. And I know you're amazing for doing programs like this to help educate people. I even heard you may be looking into doing some children's program to help them learn more about self-healing. So that would be great.
But it's funny because our children are our future. Yeah. But I always say, as a parent, the best gift that we can give our children is a great example, because they watch more what we do than listen to what we say. So if we give a great example, we're going to definitely impact our children and especially all the children around us.
That's a very good thing to recommend to everybody. So today we're going to talk about self-healing in 10 days. So let me turn it over to you and let's see if we can understand all of your great information and apply it.
Well, Trish, that topic came about because my fourth book, The Power of Self-Healing, I happen to have a copy here.
Okay.
This book became an international bestseller, which means that you have to be a bestseller in 6 different countries in the same week. It's not an easy task. But in this book, and it was the foreword was done by one of my dear friends and patient, Dr. Wayne Dyer, that many of us miss greatly. He was a great influencer in the world. But what I did with this book is I wanted to bring about a message of how the body's self-healing mechanisms are all there to be able to help us not only get well, but stay well. So what I did is I interviewed over 50 patients that have been told that they could not heal from something. And they share their stories about how they were able to heal when traditional medicine sometimes reaches its limits. What else can we access in order to help us heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually? And that's the way I kind of broke the book, because what we realized is that the body has components that are physical, emotional, and spiritual in our healing, but also in what makes us sick in the first place. Many people are sick because of an emotional stress, an anger, a resentment, hating somebody. We already know, worrying all the time. But it could be an illness as far as a disease, or it could actually be a spiritual disconnection in which the individual feels all alone and doesn't feel connected to anything else. So that's kind of like what I want to share with you today is what did we learn by looking at the literature, the science behind what is it that the body is capable of doing? What is the new science telling us? And also, what were the stories that were so interesting where these people were able to heal when their scientific traditional providers were told that they could not heal?
You've had a lot of correspondence from being an international bestseller, and I'm sure a lot of people have emailed you and told you about some of their the healing that you've presented to them. Did you get like tons and tons of emails and phone calls?
Thousands. I remember when I first did my my first show with Dr. Phil, when the book first came out, we had over 27,000 people wanting to know more information in the first hour that the show aired. And that show was actually aired multiple times because it rated so high in the ratings. So let me break it down for you. These are the things that I want you to remember. The first thing that I learned, and the reason I became a holistic doctor, I became a doctor of chiropractic, because in those days we didn't have functional medicine or integrative medicine or any of the medicines that we see today. We had chiropractic. They were the wellness doctors. And then you had medical doctors that were the traditional doctors. And what I realized, Trish, is even though I wanted to be a neurosurgeon, I realized that over 80% of the people that get sick can actually prevent their illnesses if we can change our lifestyle behaviors. So I wanted to be in the world of prevention. So I began to really take a look and became a doctor of chiropractic. Then I became an acupuncturist. I became a nutritionist. I became an energy medicine doctor. I studied all the healing arts that are holistic and natural to try to find out how is it that people have been able to heal over the years when others have not. And this is what I found. On a physical plane,
Tell us your secrets because we want to know.
And for those of you that are watching, you may want to take some notes, even though you can always review and replay this to yourself and your family members and your loved ones. But on a physical plane, there were three things that science and all these stories of all these patients told us allows us to heal. The first one is exercise. Our bodies were designed to move. And I know you've heard before that exercise is the new medicine. But actually, if we could put in a bottle or in a capsule all the benefits of exercise, we wouldn't need anything else, because exercise is actually been proven by science to be able to do so many wonderful things in the body, not only keep us looking well and staying fit and toned, but also it actually enhances almost every system of the body, starting with cardiovascular system. As you know, the number one leading cause of Americans and people around the world is cardiovascular disease, strokes, heart attacks, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. These are the things that are killing our loved ones. So exercise is very important. So when you start looking at all the exercise components, there was one that kind of stood out. And that is a new one called interval workouts. And interval workouts are workouts that are short in nature, but they're very fast paced. So let's say that you're on a treadmill. You're going to go in that treadmill and you're going to put a setting that is pretty fast. Like for me, it's about a 9, but let's say that you do a 6 in most treadmills. You're going to go as fast as you can for 2 minutes. And then you're going to walk for 2 minutes. And then you're going to go as fast as you can for 2 minutes. And you're going to walk for 2 minutes. And you're going to go as fast as you can for 2 minutes. And you're going to walk for 2 minutes. You do that about 5 times. And you can do it on the treadmill. You can do it on a bicycle. You can do it running in your neighborhood. You can do it running in place. You can do it by doing jumping jacks really fast for 2 minutes. You can do it by doing push-ups for 2 minutes. Whatever exercise you want to do, you just want to do it really hard for 2 minutes, then go slow or take a breath for 2 minutes and do it really hard for 2 minutes, and do it 5 times. And that exercise has actually shown to be one of the most effective ways to be able to work out.
And I exercise, but I really have not heard of that. Not
It's
in the
the
strong way that
that
you're saying.
most of the biggest athletes in the world, that's part of their workout routine. The second thing that we learned is on another component, nutrition. Healthy eating is a second thing that we found that truly helps our body self-heal. And of course, we know the basics of self-healing when it comes to nutrition is having more vegetables than anything else. The more vegetables you have, the more nutrients that you have in your body. And if you can go organic, we recommend that because it's less toxins and chemicals in that vegetables.
Yes.
We also learned that we have to eat smaller plates rather than large plates. You know, I live in Texas, so we have Texas style size plates that can feed a family of 4. But that's what most individuals eat in one serving. And then, of course, we also have.
Well, look, can I back up? I have a question about that one. So I've always heard that if you're ill, you should, of course, eat healthy, but they say that you should liquefy that for the week you're sick or 2 weeks. Put all your food in the blender and just drink it. Does that hold in
The way
there?
that I do my vegetables, I have never been a big vegetable eater. Like, you know how some people crave salads every day? I crave my green juices. So I put all kinds of greens, spinach, kale, avocados, I mean, you name it, celery, everything. I also do juicing. But, you know, that's one component that we've learned, and we've learned about healthy nutrition. We also know that we have to reduce our sugar content. Sugar is one of the biggest negatives or enemies of health in the body, because sugar creates a lot of inflammation in the body, which is one of the foundation for most illnesses out there. And we also have to reduce our preserved foods. We need to eat more whole foods. But then of all of those things, I'm going to share with you what the new science, especially in 2019, we have found out that the one thing, if you really want to self-heal very fast, is to do intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is not a diet. It doesn't tell you what to eat, but it tells you when to eat. Mm-hmm. And if you go for like 16 hours fasting, and then you eat in that 8-hour window, for me, I try to keep it to a 4-hour window. For most people, we recommend 8 to 6 hour window that you eat. And of course, we don't want you to eat terrible foods. We want you to eat healthy foods. But if you keep that and that fasting component, your body has an ability to regenerate. So you get a lot of toxicity, your immune system goes up. It is one of the most fascinating things that we have seen. And we have 2 products that I'm going to recommend. There's one called TACA. This is a product that was in the market last year, and it's a little envelope that it's a powder that has over 35 superfoods in a powder that you just put in water and you drink it, and it has like aloe vera, fucodian, curcumin. It has some of the most amazing things that I wrote in my book, but I had to take 40 pills a day to get them all. Now I just take this once a day, twice a day, and it's all I need. But it also doesn't break your fast. So you can also drink that in the morning.
Oh, okay. That's a big deal. You can drink
up to 3 of these a day without breaking your fast. And then we have another product called Benetrim. And this product, our clinical trials, it's a little capsule, as you can see here. You take 2 of these a day. And this has clinical trials that has shown that it helps. It's all herbal extract, so it's all natural. And it helps you with your mood. It makes you happier. It makes you more energetic. It makes you less stressful. But it also helps you lose weight by inches and weight. So between those 2 products, we have now thousands of people doing a intermittent fasting challenge of 30 days. And we're averaging somewhere between 8 to 14 pounds in the first 30 days. It is something like I've never seen before, but in a healthy way. TACA doesn't have any sugar added. It has a little bit of stevia, but that's one of the important things, because whenever you have products that have sugar, you're not helping your body be able to. And that's why when you stop your diet, your body gains the weight much faster because all of that sugar is implanted in your brain and your brain craves it. So then you tend to eat more after you stop your diet. So that's why we recommend intermittent fasting. And the last thing that we do is that we recommend that you get a holistic provider, a doctor of chiropractic, a acupuncturist, a nutritionist, a naturopath, a homeopath, because when you have a holistic provider as part of your team, you tend to make different decisions that if all you do is drugs and surgery. So those are the three things that all of these patients told us are what really helps an individual self-heal.
Oh my gosh, it's great information, especially the intermittent fasting. I actually know a little bit about that because a friend of mine is the assistant director at UF for anti-aging. So he did mention that to me. That's great. So you're saying eat between 12 and 6, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or 4 hours if possible.
You can do 12 to 6, or I like to fast until about 4, and I like to eat between 4 and 8. You can eat between, depending on your schedule. As long as you have 16 to 18 hours, you're going to get the benefits. But the key thing is not to break the fast. So that's why these are the only 2 products in the market that have been scientifically proven to not break your fast.
Right.
Fast and also nutrient your body while it's on a fasting state. Because if you don't put anything in your body except water, some people say, oh, I get so hungry, I get moody.
Weak. Yeah.
Headaches,
right.
I get weak. So that's the reason that we recommend this. And it is one of the greatest inventions I've seen. I've been doing it for a year. And in the first 33 days, I lost over 10 pounds and 3 inches. And as you know, I don't need to lose a lot of weight, but I wanted to get leaner because your body gets rid of that excess weight when it doesn't need it anymore. So that's why it's so important that we take advantage of these right nutrients while we're intermittent fasting.
I'm going to get that. Taka is the first one, right?
I'll send you the link so that way you can order it where I order it. It's a wonderful.
Can you go to your website and order it?
I don't have it in my website. I've been thinking about putting it there because I have thousands of people that are on this right now. Right. But I just send them to a link where they can order it directly. And I'll give you that link so that way anybody would like to order, they can go there.
Right, we'll just post it underneath the video.
Okay, perfect.
But what website do they go to? I guess you probably have blogs or programs.
Yeah, the website, I have so many blogs and information that will give you so much information. And I also have an ebook that will teach you, a free ebook that will teach you how you can intermittent fast. And you can get that from my website. Just message me and I'll send it right to you,
Okay, but what about all the people watching? How are they going to message you? They're just going to message you through Messenger?
No, if they go through my website, or they can go to Messenger. It's Dr. Fab Mancini is my Facebook Messenger in my website. And, I have almost 500,000 people that are following me that I keep excited about being healthy, being happy, being wealthy. I mean, I believe that all of those things are meant for all humans, not only a selective few, unfortunately.
And what is your website domain exactly?
It's drfabmancini.com. So D as in dog, R, F-A-B, F as in Frank, A, B as in boy, MANCINI.com. And I'll put it down here so you guys will have access to it.
Great. And I guess we probably should say a little disclaimer, which is, for people that have some kind of illnesses, I guess you always want to go see your physician as well as your nutritionist before you go fasting.
I always recommend, especially if they're under any medications, even though these are all natural foods, you should always consult with your provider, whoever your provider is, because it is your relationship and your trust with that individual. In my 30-year career as a doctor, I love whenever a patient would ask me questions about things, because it gave me an opportunity to share so many years of schooling where I could actually share some information with them. So you always want to do that. So thank you for that. Now let's talk a little bit about the emotional self-healing component. This is one of my favorites because these are the ones that most people take for granted. You see, a lot of times when people go through a lot of stress, and of course we know we're living under a lot of stress right now in the world. You have financial stress, you got work-related stress, you got relationship stress, you got children stress, you got health issue stress, you got stress coming out of your ears. So one of the things that we found out is that emotions change the chemistry of the body. And the science has taught us that. So whenever you go through a negative emotion like anger, your chemistry changes to produce what we call harmful hormones. And those harmful hormones can actually impact your organs, your systems, and of course, your overall health. So we found 3 emotions, Trish, that if people practice on a daily basis, they can actually self-heal from any emotional issue that they're going through. The first one is forgiveness. I know you've heard it before, but all I can tell you is that the emotions that the lack of forgiveness create is one of the biggest detriments. That emotion of anger, resentment, hate, those have been linked to almost every chronic illness that we have out there.
Really?
So
Wow.
we want to make sure that if somebody has hurt you, you know, I want you to understand that I'm not asking you to forgive the act. I'm asking you to forgive and release the negative emotions that you have towards that person, that circumstance, whatever happened, because you can't control that any longer. What's in the past is in the past. But what we're noticing and what many of these patients were sharing with me is that some of these patients were angry at their, let's say, their mother and father, to the point that it made them sick. Or they were angry at their first boyfriend that promised them the world, and then they made love when they were 14 or 16 years old, and then they left them for their best friend 2 weeks later. And now you carry that anger with every other male relationship you have in your life. You got to get over that, because if you don't release it, your body will turn it into chemistry that is harmful in the body. So you have to forgive everyone and everything that has happened to you that might have caused any type of negative emotion.
It's like cancerous hormones. It go like sort of like cancerous negative hormones go through your body, right?
Well, remember, it's chemistry. Everything boils down to chemistry. So hormones are a big chemistry component of our bodies. So that's the hormones that become negative hormones that turn into abnormal cells, you know, and those are the danger cells. The second.
I guess I have a phone call or two to make after we're done.
And you know, that's one of the things that I typically get from people when I consult with them is the fact that they realize all of us have someone to forgive. But then here's the trick, Trish.
Yeah.
The one that I want you to start with is yourself.
Oh.
You know that most people, we beat ourselves up on a continual basis. And one of the things that happens is the fact that when we beat ourselves up, all of that negativity turns into our bodies. You know, the new science says that the average person has over 60,000 thoughts a day. And that 60,000 thoughts a day is 90% of them are negative in nature.
Oh, you're kidding.
And they're the same thoughts that you had the day before. So we repeat those cycles in our heads. And even though something happened 20 years ago, anytime we relive it, right? Let's say that you are with your partner and everything is fine, but then you have an argument that reminds you 10 years ago when they did something similar and you got very upset, right? All of us have been through that. That's the negative emotions that I'm trying to tell you. That means you haven't truly forgiven that experience, because if it keeps reappearing in your life, it means you haven't been truly forgiven, and you need to forgive it. The second emotion is gratitude. We have to be grateful for everything in life and everyone in our lives. You know, it's unfortunate that most people say that you don't get to appreciate something or someone until you lose it. We don't have to do that. As long as every day we wake up with appreciation to everyone in our lives, we're going to be okay. And the third thing is unconditional love. You know, love is the greatest healer of all. It's amazing how when you love someone, it helps them heal faster. When a person that is sick loves themselves more while they're sick, instead of just beating themselves up like, why did I do this? Why did I get sick? I know I shouldn't have smoked when I was younger. You can't do anything about that. All you can do now is love yourself for where you are and try to do new things that will help you be healthier tomorrow than you were yesterday.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Yeah, and those three emotions have been proven by science to help you heal faster than anything else from an emotional perspective.
Oh my gosh, it's a big help. So we all have to tell ourselves the great things about us and positive things, because 90 something percent of the things we're telling ourselves are negative,
Of
right?
course, we beat ourselves up all the time.
Okay, so we have to
We're
be
not
aware of
perfect,
that.
you know.
So we got to clean our mind out, and guess I have to call at least two people that I can think of and say, I love you and I'm sorry for whatever I did, right?
Yes,
To get it off your chest.
yes.
And what was the first thing? The first thing,
So
well,
remember,
diet.
the first one is forgiveness. So we got to forgive
Yes.
ourselves for anything we've done in the past, or anyone that has hurt us, or any circumstance that just happened. You know, maybe your company closed because they ran out of money, or in the dot-com world, remember that stage where so many companies closed, and it left a lot of people unemployed, unfortunately. You have to be grateful for everything and everyone, and you need to love yourself more and love other people around you more. Then when you do that, whether it's your family, your friends, your customers, just love them more. When you love people, I'm telling you, it's one of the biggest healers of them all. And there's been books and articles and scientific studies done on this, which is what's beautiful about it. Now, let's finish with the spiritual type of self healing. So, we talked about the physical, we talked about the emotional, but the spiritual is so funny. When I wrote my book, many of my friends were saying, well, Fab, don't go into the spiritual. That belongs more with religion. But what I learned is spirituality is a little different than religion. You know, that what we found from these patients, what we found from the science and the literature is the three things that you can do to be more spiritual right now is to pray or meditate on a daily basis. Both of them have enough science to show that when you pray or meditate, you heal faster. When other people pray for you, you heal faster. So prayer and meditation are amazing tools to be able to help us self-heal. The second one is that we need to spend more time with nature. So we need to go outside. We need to appreciate a sunset, a sunrise. We need to appreciate a mountain. We need to appreciate a lake. We need to appreciate nature as a whole. Even if you're walking in your neighborhood, stop for a moment and take a look at the trees, at the leaves, smell, the air, the fresh air. Just appreciate nature, because when you appreciate nature, it makes you realize that you're part of something bigger than yourself. And that's a very comfortable feeling. All of these people that I interview, the one thing they told me is that they knew that even though science had reached a limit as to what they could do for them, they never lost faith. They never lost faith on something bigger than science. Remember, science is human made, so it's very limited, even though we made great advances over the years, right? And especially over the last 40 years, great advancements in science, but it's still very limited, because there's a universe out there that is a lot more intelligent than us, that has shown how everything functions, right? And that's the intelligence that we want to tap into. And then the third thing is to find your purpose. What we realize is that finding our purpose is very spiritual, because it makes you recognize that you were born for a particular purpose. You're not occupying just space or doing what everybody else wants you to do, or like 80% of Americans that say that they don't like where they work, they just do it for a paycheck. That's not what we were meant to be. We were meant to actually identify what is it that we were born to be? What contributions can we make to others, which is what defines our purpose, is the value that we bring to others. That's what really makes a difference out there. So we need to spend time researching and evaluating what is our purpose, and make sure that we align our lives with our purpose. Because when you do that, all of a sudden you reach your potential, and that's when you truly find happiness, peace, fulfillment, all the things you want in life, success, money, great relationships, is when you align your purpose with your life. So those are the three things from a spiritual perspective that we have identified that truly helps our body self-heal.
So does a purpose mean what we enjoy?
The what?
What we enjoy? What a person enjoys? Is that your purpose?
No, your purpose is what you do, what you are in life. What do you decide to do with your space, with your time? That's your purpose. It doesn't mean just a career, because there's a lot of people that their purpose is to be a great mother. There's a lot of people that their purpose is to be a great teacher. There's a lot of people that their purpose is to be a great fireman or firewoman. There's a lot of people out there that are purpose is to be a great CEO, an entrepreneur. So finding that purpose is critical.
Okay, that's important to we have a lot of time to think about it right now, so that's important.
Yes.
Well, can you think of anything else? I think definitely you're going to be getting a call from Fox News pretty soon to go on TV and tell everybody what you told us today already.
Well,
they all need help
lately, as you know, because there's so many stories out there and people are just looking for clarity. But all I can tell you is this: if you're watching this video, take advantage of the 3 things that I told you. Make sure that you're moving your body. Make sure that you're doing intermittent fasting. Make sure that you are consulting with a healthcare provider that is holistic, like what supplements should you take to build your immune system, to build your respiratory system. Just all of those things that have science have found that are very helpful. And from an emotional level, I will make a list of all the people that have hurt you, all the circumstances, and all the things that you have done that you beat yourself up every day, and forgive them. One of the simple tricks you can do is write it down on a piece of paper, put it on a metal bucket, and then burn it and watch the flames completely make it away. Other people get an inflatable balloon and they write it on the balloon and they let it go and they watch, that release. There's so many options out there of what you can do, but forgive yourself, forgive others, be grateful. Look, whether you have a lot or whether you have a little, be grateful. If you have a child, be grateful, because I've seen parents that have lost their child and it's the most devastating. In fact, one of my cousins lost their child this morning at 9:00 with a rare illness at 11 years old. And I'm telling you, anybody, that is the most painful experience you'll undergo. Be grateful for your children. I know right now they're probably driving you crazy at home because they're home, but just be grateful. And be grateful for your partners. Don't take them for granted. Spend quality time with them and share with them what's going on, whether it's insecurities, whether it's good things, whether it's your dreams. Just connect at a deeper level. Enjoy your parents while they're still alive. Enjoy your grandparents while they're still alive, because one day they won't be and you will miss them. I promise you that. And then, of course, spend more time loving yourself. Pamper yourself. Love yourself more. Be more patient with yourself. Invest in yourself. Learn more, grow more. And those are the things that will help you. And then on a spiritual level, I want you to get out and spend more time with nature. I want you to start praying more. I want you to start meditating more. If you're religious, go deeper in your religion. Get really that faith very strong. And then also spend some time identifying what is it that you were born to be. What is it that you love the most to be? Where do people tell you that you contribute the greatest value, that you help people when they really need you? And then begin to do more of that. And those are the things in a nutshell that we have identified when I wrote this book that have impacted the lives of so many people around the world. This book is in 10 languages now, and it continues to sell every day, even though it's been around for 8 years now.
And that's on Amazon as well?
It's everywhere. Amazon.com, all the bookstores. Hay House is the publisher, so you can go to Hay House and buy it there too. Anywhere that we sell books, you can find it.
Well, you have helped me a great deal, and I'm sure all the people watching the program will get a lot out of it as well. We will definitely apply some of your techniques.
Well, I'm going to send you 2 links for those of you that are listening. I'm going to send you a link where you can purchase the intermittent fasting products, because I want you to, and I'll send you a link there where you can join the challenge. So you get every day, we give you motivational things to keep going, science to keep going. And we have thousands of people doing it. So you get a lot of support system. And then, of course, I want you to try these 2 products, because you will be grateful that you did, especially now that you're home. You can spend a lot of time doing intermittent fasting, and it's one of the healthiest things you can do for yourself and your family. And then I'm going to send you a link of my website, where there you can find information. And if you're looking for a mentor or somebody to help you through this difficult time, if you're looking for somebody that has a lot of experience to help you through navigate your health or your finances or your life or your relationship, I want you to look into that. You can find it on the website. Enjoy the blogs, enjoy all the videos. There's a lot of resources there. And I look forward, and please, you can connect with me through my website. You can ask me any questions, connect with me. I would love to get to know you. and support you in any way that I can. Or you can follow me on Facebook also and message me through there.
So that's great, Dr. Mancini. But on your Fab Life mentorship, is that only for individuals, or can, if it's a doctor with a practice, can they contact you as well?
For anybody. It could be anybody that is a business owner, a family man, a woman that is a mother that would like to just, these are for people that want to work on themselves to become a better them, to be able to be more influential. I have some people that I have taught them how to do best-selling books so they can have a bigger influence. Some people want to speak for a living, so I've taught them how to do that. Some people want to get on TV and be able to be a big influencer, so I teach them how to do that. Some people just want to have a better relationship with their partner. Some people want to manage their finances a little bit better. Whatever it is you're looking for. Some people just want to be healthier. So those are the people that I have mentored for years, and you will be in great company, because this is like a small family that they support one another like I support them. And then this is the interesting thing. I bring them my mentors. So the people that are mentoring you besides me are some of the most influential people in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Faculty are people like Jack Canfield, that was the founder of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and one of the greatest influencers, John DeMartini, T.D. Jakes, Don Miguel Ruiz, which wrote The Four Agreements, John Gray, which wrote Men Are for Mars, Women Are for Venus. These are all my friends that I've known for years. They're the ones that are also supporting you while I'm supporting you. And it's just a wonderful thing.
So sorry to keep asking so many questions, but this Fab Life mentorship, I heard through the grapevine, wink, wink, that you have some kind of programs throughout America or the world that you'll have a group attend. Is it all those members of that mentorship program, or?
Yes. So we have a community, and we talk on a monthly basis. We get together as a group online on a monthly basis, but 3 times a year we meet physically in East, Central, and West. And then that's where I bring not only myself, but some of the most influential people in the world. So you can ask them questions directly, like Brian Tracy, one of the greatest of all time as far as sales. You can say, well, Brian, I'm struggling with my sales force. This is my circumstances. What would you do if you were me? And Brian will answer the question, John Gray, I'm really having a difficulty with my partner. What would you do? What would you recommend I do in order to fix that? And he's been very helpful to our people. And Les Brown doesn't like to miss any of our events because he just loves our family. And he's been one of my dear friends and mentors for a long time. So my goal is to just bring these people, some of the most amazing people that have impacted my life, so that way they can have their life impacted too.
I've heard that they're just phenomenal. Couple executives.
Transformation, we call it. It's 2.5 days of full transformation. You definitely walk out of there different than you came in.
That's great.
And it keeps getting better. Every time I do one, the team keeps saying, I don't know how you do it. You keep raising the bar. You keep raising the bar.
Right. Well, I'm sure you'll have some people contact you about that as well. So we're happy to have you. Thank you. Hopefully you'll come back another time, because I'm sure we could think of some more things to talk about.
Thank you.
And be safe. One last thing, though. I heard you had the world's best condo or home there in Dallas. Could you turn that around so we can see out your windows?
Well, what's beautiful is, I lived in a home for 28 years, and I sold it 2 years ago. And we live here in a high-riser in Dallas, where it's all windows, so you get to see the whole city. And it's just the most beautiful image in the day and at night. We're very blessed.
Beautiful. Okay, well, be safe. Thank you for everything you do for the world.
Thank you so much, Liz, and it's a pleasure. And thank you for your leadership and helping so many people through these World Wellness interviews.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.